Hello and welcome to the United Community Channel. This is your match reaction for Manchester United 1, Fulham 2 in the Premier League. Another abysmal performance by United. And yeah, look, we've got plenty of talking points as we always do. Please do smash a like on the video, guys, if you haven't done so already. Do get your comments in below. Subscribe if you're new. The usual good stuff. And we've got some of the guys on as always. We've got Desi in, Chris is there, and Ben is in with us as well. Mr. Chairman, I suppose I'll start with you. Not a good day at the office. Now, look, what I would say is that, obviously United have been unbeaten so far this season. Our performances still haven't been good, and it's caught up with us today.
No, you're right. I mean, we didn't. Casemiro going off was a major blow. I don't understand the in-game management of bringing on Eriksen at all. I mean, at that point, if you're gonna do what you did, you do what you did when Diallo came on. You play McTominay, you put Diallo out on the right, and you keep Bruno through the middle. Bruno was lost when he had to go out to the right side when Eriksen and McTominay came on. I mean, pretty bad. I think at that point, I gotta put that at Erik ten Hag's feet and go from there.
Yeah. Desi, I'll go to you next. I mean, slow start by United in the first half. Obviously, we've said so an awful lot this season that United tend to start well and then drift out of the game, but they never looked like, I suppose, ever threatening Fulham an awful lot today. Maybe that little spell where we scored the goal in the second half, but yeah, I mean, it's just, what do you put your finger on? Is it mentality? Is it lack of effort? Is it just lack of quality?
I just think we don't know what we're doing, Jack. Personally, I don't think Casemiro going off is our problem. Like, I mean, I said it in the Aston Villa game. They could, like, when we're playing out from the back, we're so predictable. Maguire's so slow on the ball. He's labelled. Our movement off the ball is absolutely dreadful. I watch the guys in the middle when our centre backs have the ball, and they're static. It's so easy for the opposition team to read us.
Correct.
And then we play it out wide, and it's handy for them. They'll just sit in, and then we go back, and they just watch us. They just wait for us to make a mistake, pounce, and then they know what we're doing with the ball. I've defended Ten Hag now for a long time, but how he doesn't see this? That formation is not working. It hasn't worked. You're only as good as your last game, and our last game we were very bad, and we got away with it. I think personally, we turn up today trying to do the same thing, and they done their homework today. They knew exactly what they were doing when they picked up the ball in the middle of the park, and they exploited it very well. Like, it took us 26 minutes in the second half to get a shot off and goal.
Yeah.
Against Fulham at home in Old Trafford.
Yeah.
And
not just that. I would. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I've been saying it for a while. It's been hard to watch. The only game I really feel that we should have won, and we made life hard for ourselves, was the Wolves game. We really played well during that game. Casemiro was brilliant in that game. He broke up all the play they were trying to come out with. After that, we just kind of went on a lucky run. For me, personally. Yeah. I don't even think if we had Hoyland there today, it would have made any difference. Or Shaw.
Yeah. Well, getting on to Hoyland. Getting on to Hoyland, Ben, I'll go to you on this one. Obviously, Hoyland is missing for his goals more than anything else, I thought, today. But I think a very close second missing Hoyland today was that energy he gives you in terms of closing down in the forward line, which we know the likes of Marcus Rashford is just not going to do. Huge miss today, I thought.
Yeah, it was. Like you say, just holding the ball up the top. It's like a hot potato up there, isn't it? It's like, oh, it's come to me. Let's flick it. Let's flick it one touch. Just somebody get the ball and control it. Look at Bruno. Was it Bruno and Rashford? On the right wing, running away from the ball. Go and get it.
Yeah. It's very disappointing. Like, the one thing that I was surprised with more than anything today, though, Chris, which I think we've been relatively good at. Now, I'm not going to say we were spectacular at it by any sense, but from the set pieces today, we were just so weak. You know what I mean? Like, corners especially. And obviously their first goal came from a corner. I I don't know. There's new aspects of our game every week that we're going. Yeah, that's getting worse. That's getting worse. We're not getting better in this area. We're not getting better in that area. I mean, we try and be as positive as possible, but where do we go? What do we do?
I mean,
give me some kind of fucking hope, will you?
hope. I mean, our hope was injured, and I think, like I said in the chat, I don't want him sitting next to Mason Mount because I don't want Mason Mount rubbing off on him. But I mean, Hoyland's our hope, and I think that we did miss Hoyland, and I think for reasons that you said, meaning his, how he pressures the ball and how he wins the ball. But I think also his hold up play, because he comes back and he tries to hold the ball up and he holds defenders off. I mean, Rashford's never going to do that. I don't care at what stage in his career he's never going to hold anybody off. And the other thing is, on set pieces, my problem is, and I've said this many times, it's desire. We have no desire. When you defend corners, you have to have desire to go win the ball. That's all it is. It's going to win the ball. I mean, nobody runs to the ball where the ball is going. It's like we're always following the man, and not like we're so focused on the man that we go where he goes, and no one has any idea where the ball is being played at. Like, I don't even know if they see it. And it bothers me. It's like you should.
But Chris,
Yeah.
during their first goal, if you watch back the goal, you can say we're watching the man. There was nobody watching him.
Yeah.
Never mind the ball. He ran 5 yards, took a shot. The shot deflected back out to him. Nobody closed him down, and he took the second shot. So
Yeah.
despite the fact that we're looking at the ball, you still need to have your eye on the player. I don't even know who was marking him, but whoever was marking him, just let him have a free run. And even when he got away from him, they never went to try and get after him. They just stood still and let him go.
No, Desi, I agree with you. I mean, I think, like you said, it's they're making runs from deep, and they're no one's marking them. But again, no one's even where the ball is being played. Even if you're trying to, like, even if I'm standing there and staring at the corner coming in, my first movement should be going to get the ball, not standing there waiting and being static. And like you said, Desi, and I've said this many a times, our team movement, even like when our back four have the ball, we have none. We have no movement. The ball goes to the wing, then it comes back around, goes to the other wing, comes back around. Like, and I'm not saying it just on Rashford and I mean, it goes Rashford, Bruno, anybody that plays central. Nobody checks into the ball to get the ball. Everybody's waiting on someone's back shoulder, waiting for a through ball, waiting for the ball to be played over top. Like, this is not how teams play. You can't play static, and that's what we are. I mean, that's probably the best word to describe us, is we're static. We just stand and watch. And once one player moves to the ball, nobody else around moves. There's no secondary third runs. So it's like everybody gets the ball and goes, okay, what's everybody doing? Oh, everybody's standing around. Okay, no problem. I will just go back to Delo, and then it'll go back to Maguire. Then it goes over.
That's what I find very frustrating watching United, is that when you're a player, you probably only spend about 4 or 5 minutes on the ball for the whole duration of the game.
Yeah.
So the rest of your game is down to what you're doing off the ball. And when I watch some of them, I'm just like, are you even playing in this game?
They watch.
Like,
they watch. They don't run.
I don't know how many times I counted. I didn't even take notes. I was just counting on my hand. And many times Random and Maguire had no option to go into the middle. Not that anybody's dropping in deep and then somebody's trying to drag the other central midfielder towards their own goal. Nothing happening, just standing there straight across as a four. And then when the centre back's coming out with the ball, he's just looking at the four with their opposition player standing right beside him, no movement. So he's no other option to either go wide or go back. And if there's nothing on, go back to Onana. And then he'll just give a big long ball back to them.
Yep.
It's so hard to watch.
I mean, I wish I should have cut it, but maybe I'll go back and look in the game. But there's a moment in the second half towards the end, like in the 85th, after we scored, it was 1-1. Delo has the ball on the right side, and Rashford is just standing at the top of the box. He could very well check into the ball because there's a lane. There's not a whole bunch of defenders. He has a wide open lane. He can check into the ball. If the ball comes to him, then you have options. But what is he doing? He's standing side-footed, waiting. All right, play the ball over top. Like, there's no space if you're at the top of the box, for him to play the ball into you and the goalkeeper not come and kill you. I mean, I'm sorry, it's got to be perfect, and we're not perfect. So, I mean, it's frustrating. But I mean, you can't. And then we talked about possession. You can't have possession if no one moves.
Yeah, but when you do have possession, your passing has to be better, though.
No, 100. But Jack, a part of that is nobody moves. So sometimes you pass in anticipation of where someone should be because defenders move, and nobody does. Everybody just stands static, like. And I'm like going, when you move with the ball, everybody's still standing in the original place. If I make it a turn, everybody's still standing there, and everybody's like, oh, now I should move. I'm like, too late. See ya.
Yeah.
You're defending.
Yeah. Let me get down through some of the comments here. We see what people have to say. Neverworld says, again, taking our chances. We'd have scored any of those chances in the first few minutes. This would be a different scoreline. This lad have got absolute no passion, drive or hunger. Need midfield gutted. Alpha Eagle says, the moral of the story for the past 10 years, 1 step forward, 5 steps backwards. Well, look, again, I don't want to get too negative. I know it's been a really bad performance, but it's our first defeat in nearly 8 weeks. So, again, I don't want to be overly negative. The United Positive channel, hooray. Our poor performances haven't been punished yet, and today it has been up there, one of our worst performances. Absolutely shocking. Bottle jobs in a must-win game. Daryl says, it was an absolute disgrace from start to finish. Fuck me, boys. Anyone that backs Rashford seriously needs to take a good long look at themselves as well as Rashford. Right, I'm going to stop on that one. And I go to you, Chris, because you are, you're a big fan of Rashford, and I'm a big fan of Rashford as well. I want him to do well. I want him to be, the man. But fuck me, what do we need to do to drag some passion and hunger out of him?
Sit him.
I don't think that would work, though. I don't think that would work. I think that would make him sulk.
Then let him sulk, and then in the summer you sell him, you move him on. I mean, yeah. I'm sorry. I mean, I'm getting to the point, and I am a Rashford fan. I'm not going to hide it and everything like that. I mean, the first half of the game, I had my Rashford jersey sitting over there, and I had to change it. I have Garnacho jersey on now, but because I was like, this is just not going.
You've McTominay on the back of that shirt.
But it's like I just at this point I'm like I can't defend him. I can't defend his effort. I can't defend that he doesn't play with passion. And I can say that about a lot of the guys. I mean, I'm not going to hold back. I mean, I can say that about a lot, but at this point, you sit him, you bring him on for 20 minutes at the 60-minute mark, and hopefully he does something. But if not, you let him sit. It's about time you give. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Diallo came in on the right wing and played. It did more than Rashford did all game.
Yeah, I agree.
He fought for the ball. He held the ball. He got he was in there. I would say then, Diallo starts on the right and Garnacho on the left. And I mean, I don't know who you're going to put it until Højlund comes back. But, maybe, I mean, at this point, you got nothing to lose because he's not giving you anything.
Yeah. Ben, I remember you mentioning, Ben, a couple of weeks ago that that we shouldn't sell him in the summer. Now, I know it's only been one. Well, it hasn't been one bad performance since then. It's been a bad performance and a couple of average performances. Are you still under the? Well, obviously he's not going anywhere between now and the summer, but he's not creating a case for himself not to be sold.
No, he's not. But I think we just need to get somebody else there, get him challenging for his place. If he sulks on the bench, like you say, get rid. But surely to God, as a playing for Man United, Rashford, Man U lad, that's my spot. I'm going to play better than him. I think that's what he needs.
Yeah. But has he not already had that with Garnacho?
He has, yeah. The same as today, he's playing up top. Well, we all know he's going to have a bad game playing up top, isn't he? So.
Yeah.
I think he got it. I think he had a bit. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt, but I think he got a bit of luck with the fact that we had no other option at right wing, and the fact that if we had other options at right wing, then Garnacho would be at our left winger, and then Rashford would be on the bench.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I think he's lucky Anthony's been poor as well, hasn't he?
Yeah, exactly.
If Anthony was playing good, then he won't be in the team, would he?
Yeah, I know what you mean. What do you make of him, Desi? Like, are you Rashford in, Rashford out? Would you get rid of him? Would you sell him? Would you bench him?
Just sell him, Jack.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like a player that wants to play at United.
He looks like, not even that. He
Bottom
looks like a
line,
player
like,
that
as you
doesn't
just
want to
said
play
there, he's
fucking
not making.
football at the moment.
Yeah, he's not even making a case for himself. Like, when you look around the pitch, you expect him. He's got pace. He's someone that you'd want to look at and think, you know what, he's trying. We need to fucking help him out here. And he doesn't give anybody else that, that feel to want to walk. If he's walking, I can guarantee you, the lads in behind are going to try a little bit harder, even if we're under the cosh. But he doesn't. He doesn't. He doesn't even try. Which then that floats on to everybody else. Well, if he's not trying, it won't fucking bother me. Bollock. Sorry for the language, but
No,
it's
you're
just
grand.
so it's been like that for a long time now, Jack.
Yeah.
I mean,
This
I would,
isn't yesterday's news, you know what I mean, or today's news. It's going on a long time. He has an odd good game here or there. I think again in the Wolves game, he was one of the players that I thought, Jesus, he's turning the corner here. His walk rate was unbelievable in the game. And then since then, it's just gone back to the original way he's been all season. I'd just sell him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think
Go on,
if
Chris.
he put in a shift today and he was running around trying to make things happen, then you can't say anything bad about it. But like Desi said, he's not move. He doesn't move. Like, he just sits. And like I mean, there's moments where I'm like, okay, he's not doing anything. Like, no, he's just like he's so. I mean, like I said, the word is static. Everybody's static, and it just, at the beginning of the game, I thought Bruno was really trying to run around a little bit and work and do things, but he just, like, Bruno, and it drives me up a wall, but he likes to play too wide. He likes to sit out in the wings way too much.
That looked like a tactic today, especially in the first half. He was in that kind of inside left channel, just drifting into that area. I don't know if that was an area that they pinpointed as a weak point, but
I mean, you could say that if him and Garnacho are trying to, play down the left side, but I'm sorry, you're our number 10. You're supposed to be playing through the middle. And again, this is the reason why Højlund doesn't get service, is because we have no midfielder behind him to help him play through the middle, and it's worrisome. It really is. And I mean, my answer is, I'm sorry, but I'm starting to get on the train of, if you can get a good fee, you got to sell Bruno and you bring someone else in. We need a midfield engine. I'm sorry. I'm like, because in the last 6-7 games, I have more questions than I have answers.
Well, talk to me a little bit about Erik ten Hag then, Chris, while you're there, because obviously we were speaking about it, and some people said, there was nothing could be done. Some people were saying the substitutions were good. I thought they were poor.
Yeah.
What did you make of the in-game management? Because it's been a point that we've been talking about over the last few months now about Erik ten Hag.
Again, I'll give him a slight pass of, there's not a whole lot of options. So but at the same time, I don't understand bringing Eriksen and McTominay on at the same time. And Casemiro comes off. I understand injury, split open, fine. But you take Forsten off, and like we were talking about in the chat, you give him until the 60-minute mark, maybe he does something. But all of a sudden now he comes off, and you can only say that's a tactical change that he's making there to say, okay.
Sorry, to make things worse, fucking Premier Sports 1 have got fucking City scoring after 6 seconds in the FA Cup final last season as well, just to fucking piss me off even further. Dickheads.
But the other thing is, I myself would have sat there and said, okay, we bring McTominay on, and if you're going to bring two on, you bring McTominay on, and if Forsten's not doing it, you bring Diallo on. When Eriksen came on, he offered nothing.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I know O'Sheen's probably, I don't know if he's listening, but he's a big Eriksen fan. No. No.
Yeah, look, I like Eriksen. I have to say, but I like him in the way he can play the game. He can't play Premier League football anymore, in my opinion. He's too slow. He's too small. He's pushed off the ball too easily. He will create for you if he's given time and space, but you don't get that in the Premier League, don't you know? I want to get through some of the comments here as well, guys. Matthew says, cash in on him and get a younger, more hungrier player that will fight for the badge. Neverworld says, I'll drive him to Paris for nothing. Danny says, Rashford highly overrated. He's good one year, then bad the next. He looks like he couldn't care less, yet he keeps getting continue to be played. He has to go. Matthew says, I'd bite the hand off of any offer over 50 million for Rashford with the way he's playing. Agreed, says Owen. Party Pooper says, I'm the same and I love Bruno. So Adam says he'd move Bruno on as well. I mean, is it a case, guys, Desi, I'll go to you. I mean, is it simply a case that we just need to fucking sell the majority of these players? You know what I mean? If we go through it, right, Lindelof, not good enough. Maguire, not good enough. Varane, past it. Delot, okay. Casemiro, past it. Bruno, question marks. Menu, good. Rashford, not doing enough. Anthony, not good enough. Fucking Sancho, not good enough. Whatever. We just need to probably sell the majority of players.
Oh, 100%. 100%, Jack. Let's do it. Do you know what? I was even sitting there saying, don't really want to be in the Champions League next year. You know, let's accept the fact that the team's in a bad place. Try and gut this team, get some new fresh heads in, and go from there. Because I think in hindsight, we want to be in the Champions League and we want to be competing against these bigger clubs, but the fact of the matter is that we cannot do it yet. And we need a good clear out. Maguire and Varane is a no-no. Varane's finished. Maguire's just not good enough, as you said. Casemiro finished. Eriksen finished. You know, and then when you get rid of those, who do you have? You have to start again. You have to build. And I think we need a good year or two, maybe, just to accept the fact that we're not good enough and build.
Yeah. Ben, what do you make of it? Because it's going to be a case that we're going to need patience. And I mentioned it, throughout the week there on some of the lives with Jim Ratcliffe coming in and the statements that he's been making. We do need to have patience because the majority of these players are not good enough.
Yeah, like you say, you can't just go and sell them all in one window, can you? Because it's a lot of work in it. So I think you just prioritise.
Yeah. Well, I did see a good clip, Chris, and I'll go to you on this. I don't know where I've seen it. If you could only keep 5 players out of the current Manchester United squad, who would you keep?
Martinez, Manu, Hoyland, Garnacho.
One more.
Delot.
Yeah, it's not bad 5. You know what I mean?
That's the rest of them I could. The rest of them right now I could. Yeah, I just because here's the thing, Jack. And as much as I like Bruno and I'm a Bruno fan, but he's not leading.
Yeah,
he's just not. I mean,
yeah, it's kind of when you hear it for the first time, somebody saying, "I think we should sell Bruno." It's kind of you're kind of going, yeah.
Well, I look at it this way. How old is he?
29.
Okay, so whatever you get now, it's only going to go down. So you cash in on him now.
And I mentioned that during the week. I have no problem with players, price tag going down with age if you're continuing to perform at decent levels. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. I get that, but at the same time, I don't think we're not in that. And as like Desi said, we're not in that scope of we can afford to let that happen. Yeah. We need to cash in on what we can cash in on now. Like even though everybody loves McNaldo and he's gonna score goals when he comes on, he's 100% profit. Rashford's 100% profit. You sell what you can and then you replace them. And I'm not saying we need to go out and buy big name players, Galacticos or anything like that. But you need to go out and find people that'll work.
Yeah.
And that's because if you find the people that'll work and you can get some results and everything like that, then you're going to be able to create a culture that people can come into. Because right now, when you bring players in, the culture they're coming into is terrible.
Right, let me ask you a question then. I'll ask all 3 separately, and I'll go to you first, Chris, because you're there. One word answer. Is Ten Hag the right man?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm 50-50 on it.
You fucking fraud.
The last few games, man. No, honestly though, Jack. Oisin says it every week, doesn't he? He says that.
Yeah.
How could he not see it on the side of the pitch? I had to question it today to myself, like, how is he not seeing this? Why is he not changing it? You know, even the formation, never mind making substitutions. Tightening it up in the middle, they're absolutely annihilating us.
Yeah.
You know, let's try and get back some control on the game. Let's try and
Yeah.
steady the ship a little bit. We're getting, like, he has to see that. He has to see that they're just walking straight through us. So
I get
easy
ya.
for them. It's Fulham, for God's sake. We've got
Yeah.
City now in 2 matches time or the next match. Like, look.
Yeah. I get
Anyway,
you.
I don't know. Yeah, look, I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it work out for him. But if he doesn't start seeing these stuff, he's gonna come under hot water.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. You're
I
spot
just
on
think
there.
that I mean, like you say, Jack, I mean, I hate to say no on Ten Hag when he hasn't had the proper support of a
Structure.
a good structure, meaning a Dan Ashworth, a true head scout, a true director of football, a true board that will back them, and we'll say no, we're not buying that player, and we're gonna, this is the player that we're looking at for this price, and because I mean, if you look at what Ashworth does, he could literally bring in 5 people for 100 million, because that's what he buys budget guys like Bruno Guimaraes and Isak and all those guys that came in Newcastle that made a difference for them, and they didn't spend big money.
Yeah, but I understand that Newcastle are fucking 11th in the table though, as well, or wherever they are.
Yeah, but
They're up to 8th.
they were darlings last year, and
No, they were. I agree with you. And some of the players that he signed, that like Brighton and stuff, he's top quality. And I think you're dead right. That's the type of signings that we need now. You mentioned Galacticos. We can't be going out and signing. And like, I hear some nonsense that United are going to bid 200 million for Vinicius Junior. Absolute. I mean, we wouldn't be able to buy another player for 6 years after spending that kind of money.
No,
you know what 100%.
I mean? I mean, as much as I love João Neves and I've watched him at Benfica, I mean, we can't spend 100 million on one player.
No.
You got to go find the players that are 30, 40 million, so you can build a nucleus and you can build a squad that work. And like I said, and I'm gonna harp on this from now to the end of the season. You got to build a squad that people, when they come in into a good culture. Right now, they're not coming into a good culture.
Yeah.
So it's almost like you're taking a poison pill when you walk in the door at United.
I get you. Right, lads. Sorry, go
we're
on.
We're not going to sign players like that, though, now, are we? The state that we're in, who's going to want the big players? Who's going to want to come to Man United?
Exactly. So maybe it's the right time for the likes of a Dan Ashworth to come in, because regardless of whether we should be, we probably need to be signing these lesser, cheaper players coming up out of nowhere.
Yeah, get a good squad together.
I mean, I'll be
honest,
and
then start going for the big ones.
Yeah.
What Xabi Alonso's done at Leverkusen is pretty remarkable because of the players that he has. He has a cast-off in Granit Xhaka that is literally playing fantastic for him. And I know everybody's going to say it's the Bundesliga, but if you watch their style of play, it's fantastic.
Yeah. I get you. Right, lads, I think we'll leave it there. Thanks for joining, as always. Really appreciate it. I think we've got a midweek game against Nottingham Forest, haven't we, in the FA Cup?
Yeah, FA Cup game. And then we have City.
Yeah. I think I'll go to the fucking South Pole for that one.
You're gonna go south, I'll go north. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
You know what?
Right,
if
lads.
they play City, I'd rather just see them try and park a bus and defend.
Yeah, I agree with you.
Just defend
and try and nick a draw like Chelsea done.
Yeah,
I think 4-5-1 or 5-4-1. You play 5 in the back, 4 in the midfield, and
middle, because they're gonna move the ball around quickly, and we just need to hold a tight unit.
Keep her shape. Yeah. Keep her shape.
I mean, but you look at what Chelsea did. They literally played like a 5-4-1, but all their guys fly around to the ball. That's the difference.
Yeah.
You know.
I know what you mean. Right, I better go before I'm divorced. Right, lads. Thanks for stopping by. I'll chat to you during the week, all right?
No,
appreciate you coming
later.
as always. See you in a bit. Take it easy. Thanks, guys, for watching as well. Please do smash a like on the video if you haven't already done so. Hit subscribe to the channel if you're new. Really disappointing result for Man United. I'll be back again during the week. We'll be doing the match preview for Forest versus United in the FA Cup as well. Thanks for watching. Smash a like in the video. Hit subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Take it easy.